everybody. I'm Tajan with Tajan Renderos Coaching, and Tajan Renderos Coaching is a company that works with organizations that support young women, where young women can learn and apply personal development principles that are needed yet not often taught in school or at home or even in our faith communities, that will help young women to thrive in college, in work, in whatever they choose to do with their lives. So I work with organizations like Girls Inc. or youth development organizations within college prep programs, etc. So I'm here today to talk about why I started this business. And the reason why I'm answering this question is because I get asked this question all the time. People are like, well, Tajan, why are you doing this? Like, how did you become a coach? And why are you wanting to do that? And so I felt like it would be good to just answer that question using this Facebook Live format. So I encourage you to send me comments, ask me questions. We'll have time to address those at the end. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you can hear. And at the end of all of this, we'll basically have time for any questions and answers that you have around the topic. So in addition to me talking about why I started this business, I'm going to talk about steps you can take to make sure that you're moving in the direction of your professional calling. And I see that one person just joined. So if you could just send me a chat, send me a comment, and let me know who you are, where you're coming from. Hi, Nandy. So what I wanted to talk about again is just why I started this business, because people ask me this question all the time and I wanted to answer it in this video platform. In order to answer this question around professional calling, I have to really go way back to when the core thread of that professional calling emerged. And for me, that was around when I was 10 years old, is when I was really clear on what my professional calling basically was. And for me, the clarity I got was that I was really here to learn in order to teach. To learn in order to teach, to learn in order to teach. And so when I was exposed to leadership development workshops, personal development workshops, spiritual development workshops, whatever it was, I knew that ultimately the purpose was to gather that information so that I could assimilate it and give it back to people once the time was ready. Hi, Irvine. So I always knew that that was the point. The point was to gather information, integrate it, assimilate it, to ultimately give it back. And so for me, when I was 10, in my mind, I was learning and thinking and being counseled by people thinking like, okay, well, how old do I have to be in order to do the same? And the interesting thing about it is once I went through with this business and started moving in this direction, most of my colleagues and friends from high school were like, well, that makes sense because you were always kind of coaching me. The thing about your professional calling and the reason why it's important for you to stay in touch with that inner guide is because oftentimes we are being called to a profession that may not formally exist. So there was nobody who at 10 years old could have said to me, geez, Tajan, based on your skills, talents, gifts, preferences, you should be a coach, because the field didn't exist in the way that it does now. And as we can see, there are many jobs that have become obsolete. And in many ways, we're preparing a generation for a future that we can't anticipate. And so, given all of that ambiguity, it's really important for you to hold on and stay true to what your professional calling is, knowing that it will change and evolve over time, and knowing that everything that you're learning, there's not a thing that's wasted. All of it adds up and fits into the plan ultimately. So for my relationship with my professional calling has been more like being in a car, driving somewhere that I don't exactly know the destination, but I do have GPS. And the GPS in the car is basically guiding me. And so if I take a detour, which for me was a detour into like real estate, a detour into all kinds of things that I never had any business doing. And once I took these detours, the GPS was like recalculating, letting me know that something was off. That feeling that you feel of like, this shoe just don't fit is not something to take lightly. It is an indication that you've veered kind of off of that course of the professional calling, because you know what something feels like to you when it just doesn't fit right. And you also know when something fits right and feels good. You know what yes feels like to you, and you know what not really feels like to you as well. And so as I was on these detours, I would have to kind of stop, usually stealth retreat, for at least a weekend in silence, to figure out how to get back onto the course. Now, for a lot of the clients that I see, they're so lost and so stuck that they believe they don't have a GPS anymore. They've lost faith in it. And my job as a coach is to help them realize that, yeah, the GPS is right there in the car. It's still there. We just have to remove fear and obstacles and all kinds of physical limitations that's making it hard for you to hear that GPS telling you where to go. And for some people, we have to reconnect all the way back to whenever last they had that GPS so that we can get people back to where they were. So the sense of professional calling is really, really important. And when you miss it and when you're completely lost and completely stuck, it can be very, very frustrating. And there's nothing more heartbreaking to witness than people in their 40s or 50s that are so frustrated but terrified to move in a different direction because of financial obligations. So it's easier for me to talk about this to people in their teens and early 20s. But it's much harder to talk to somebody in their 50s or 60s about moving in the direction of their professional calling, because in their minds, the obstacles of adulting and financial obligations and children, etc., are way more daunting than they were when you were younger. But really, these are obstacles that you're just creating in your mind. And again, my role in supporting clients is helping them question these obstacles, remove them one by one, question their logic, question their thinking. And so I also wanted to talk a little bit about why I'm motivated to this work. And really the reason why I'm motivated to do this work is because there's just unnecessary suffering. There's unnecessary stuckness that doesn't need to be there, and with very minimal intervention can be overcome. So you can have a laser coaching session with a coach and jump over a hump in 10 to 15 minutes at most. So it's a really powerful tool that's underutilized to help people move from being stuck to getting to another level. So just to quickly summarize about your professional calling, when you're moving in the direction of your professional calling, you will feel good, you will feel joyful, you'll be doing things that you enjoy doing. We all have this internal compass that's like telling us when we're moving in the right direction and we're kind of veering completely off course. There's always a way for you to come back. Sometimes you can self-coach your way back, sometimes you need help. And it would behoove us to not know when we need one thing versus the other. The importance of professional calling can't be minimized also because we actually need everybody to meaningfully contribute. And I can't win if you don't win. And you can't win if I don't win. If all of us are doing our part and doing exactly what we've been called here to do, that is how we'll contribute to really healing this world. And obviously the world needs healing. Obviously there's a lot of work that we have to do, but people have to be doing the work that they've been really called here to do, that they are uniquely equipped, skilled, and talented to do, and move confidently in that direction. And pay attention to your inner guiding voice that's leading you in that direction. So if working with a coach is something that you're interested in but have never considered, just message me. You can private message me and we can talk about how I might be able to set you up with a complimentary coaching session if that's something that's of interest to you, if it's something that you've never explored but are really curious about. You've been brought to this video for a reason. So go ahead over to www.tajanrenderis.com and you can easily sign up for a free complimentary coaching session with me there. Let me know if you have any questions or comments around professional calling. Again, I just wanted to talk a little bit about why I started this business and how it was really a move in my professional calling. And I encourage you to continue to pay attention and move in the direction of your professional calling. We are all dependent upon it. We are all dependent upon each other moving in this direction. And with that, I will end this Facebook Live for now. So in the future, I'll be doing a lot more Facebook Lives and offering tips and tricks and really short videos that can offer some support to people. So in the meantime, take good care, and I'll see you guys later on Facebook Live. Thanks, Irvine. And shout out to all the people who joined. Brian, Irvine, Nandy, I see you. All right, guys, take good care. Enjoy your Sundays. Bye.